Let's bring you more then on our top story concerning events in Ukraine at the moment. At least 67 policemen at one stage were taken hostage by the protesters that are there in Independence Square yesterday. But they did eventually release most of those policemen. Joining us this morning is Craig Stoddard. He's an English language teacher in Kiev, and he managed to film long lines of what appeared to be the captured policemen being led away under guard by protesters. An extraordinary situation. How did you come across that, and what were you doing there at the time, Craig?
Actually, I thought there was a truce still happening, so I live in the center, and I walked down to Krashadik on my way to EuroMaidan, Independence Square, and it was a chaotic scene. So I saw a group of the right sector, or the guards, walking with a captured captured police officer go by me, a couple groups, and I got out my camera and just started filming. At that time, I had no idea what was going on.
It is an extraordinary scene. We're showing our viewers those pictures right now as you're explaining to us what happened. They seemed to be being treated well, though, didn't they?
Yeah, yes. Actually, they were it seemed like they were being protected. There were people yelling at them, and the guards that were the right sector who were walking them were pretty much protecting them. Even Babushka, old lady, was yelling foul language at them. So, yeah, they were being treated good.
Is it possible that those police that were being held there in those pictures have sympathies with the protesters and are simply having to do their job as policemen under the control of Yanukovych?
Yes, I've been documenting this since November 30th, when Berkut first dispersed the protesters at Independence Square in a violent crackdown. And every time I went to, barricades, whether it be the presidential administration, EuroMaidan, they used kids. The militia that they put on the front line looked like teenagers. And I could tell that, in my opinion, they didn't want to be there. So,
can you tell us what you think happened when the authorities, it said, opened fire on the crowds?
Can you repeat that?
What is your assessment of what happened when it seems that the authorities, the police and snipers and so on, opened fire on the protesters?
How they respond?
What do you think really happened? Do you think that really happened?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was there the day before. I've got video of that as well, the explosions happening. And then when I went yesterday, I heard shots being fired. Now, I was there on the 22nd by the cabinet ministry when they were shooting tear gas and stun grenades. And, I could hear the shots of rubber bullets. So I'm familiar with, the firing of guns, of the rubber bullets. But this time, the shots were far between. They're like, not all together. It wasn't like stun grenades being shot or rubber bullets being shot. I could tell they were coming from a rifle. So I'm sure it was happening. So,
how do you think those protesters will be feeling now, and indeed the people that support them, as they wake up this morning and another day dawns in Independence Square? 75 people at least dead, we think, over the last 2 to 5 days. America and the EU now rounding on Yanukovych. Do you think the determination of the protesters now is even more strong than ever, or how will they react to this?
Absolutely stronger than ever. I'm actually shocked in the way that Yanukovych is acting because with every action that the government has done, it just ignites the protesters to respond. So, like, violently, more protesters come to action. day before yesterday, when I was there taking pictures and video, I saw them stockpiling Molotov cocktails. Dozens of women making Molotov cocktails, which I have video and photos of that. I could tell they were preparing for war. They had enough food to feed an army. And day before yesterday, there were thousands and thousands of people. And they were also breaking up all the stones in front of the main post office, as well as on Maidan, where you're only walking on pretty much dirt. So anytime the government tries to go through a barricade, it just causes the protesters to make more barricades and to fight back.
Craig Stoddard, we appreciate your recollections and your reflections and impressions of what's happening right now. Thank you for joining us on Sky News.